not aim for the cockpit if you want to get real messy.
Damn, you're a real piece of work.
It doesn't even fucking load the finish. I gotta say, I think I'm getting a little, fatigued with the, repetitiveness of some of these missions. That may just be me, but, like, man. Yeah, if you didn't notice, I got a little bit tired of fighting these two. I don't like using big steamroll tanks with fucking annihilation weapons, because I feel like it defeats kind of the entire point of playing the game. Because there's no actual way for them to beat me now, so there's I don't want to go the whole, there's no skill involved, and I don't care about honor whatsoever. But it does take some of the enjoyment out of playing it, you know?
Mission objective complete. System returning to normal mode.
I mean, I fucking barely took any damage there.
Main system.
Like, these are the kind of missions I'm talking about, where there's not really anything significantly different about any of them.
Request from Rosary.
It's just kill the enemies, but now there's a time limit.
And take him down. But do it quickly.
There's no real difference between any of the enemy types, since there's only, like, what, 8 or 9 different enemy types in this game with 1 or 2 variations on some of them. Like, there's the Rolly guys, and they have, like, a handful of different weapons. There's the, miscellaneous cannons, most of which behave the same. The floating scout, normals, I guess, is what you would call those.
System scan mode.
And it's like, that's not a huge problem, but the levels are really small to accommodate the fact that your AC's movement is completely different than how it used to be. That's unfortunate. Yeah, calm down. Can I kill you? Yeah, there's the ones inside, right?
Energy at 30%. Energy at 30%.
I feel like this mech runs out of energy really, really quickly. Ah, that's why.
System combat mode.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these timed missions too much, because some of the enemies move around a lot, and it makes it difficult to figure out where the hell they are. Like I said, later on, when you get to those fucking scavenger missions, you're like, this thing runs away and it's faster than me. So all it's doing is wasting time. See, that's annoying. It's not difficult, it just sucks.
Excellent. Well done.
not sure why they have time limits. In other missions, there was at least a narrative reason, like something was gonna explode, or an enemy was gonna leave an area, or a cannon was gonna fire and you had to blow it up or beat it or something, or whatever. But here, these time limits are just here because it's a timed mission. Reminds me of XCOM 2 and how they added a fucking timer to the overall thing, despite that being a turn-based game. And how the very, like, I think the most downloaded mod for XCOM 2 is a thing that just turns the timer off. Because of course it would be. Ooh, a cutscene. How special. I forget if there's 100 of these. I know there's more than 50. My brain was confusing it with the other one. I think Verdict Day has 50. I can't actually remember, though. I do wish those textures were better close up. The cutscenes make it rapidly apparent that you're not supposed to look too closely at any particular object. Because from a distance, they look fine, but they look like garbage if you're anywhere... If you're within, like... You know... Yeah, he's using a sniper cannon, right? I could have sworn that you run into a fucking Zodiac AC by this point in the story. Because there are way more order missions than there are story missions. And they don't have, they're not as like cutscene or fucking, what's the word I'm looking for? Set piece focused. The order missions are much more like you're in between sort of thing. And you're clearly supposed to be doing them side by side in between story missions because the whole difficulty spike thing. But the story missions are contiguous, whereas the order missions are not. So it makes me feel like you're not supposed to play them that way. Like, the gameplay doesn't inform the narrative, or vice versa, I forget which. The point is, they could have tried harder.
To work with, that's all. Was he a member of Men of Honor? Yeah. And that's exactly why. Mission objective complete.
Yeah, I could have sworn there was a Zodiac AC that fights you on this level. Like the guy with the pile bunker who just screams at you. My memory for where those guys appear apparently sucks. I mean, you can't even get the fucking final level or cutscene or section until you kill all of the Zodiac ACs anyway. So I'm gonna have to go through a lot of these missions at least twice.
Main system activating combat mode.
Because I think these missions don't tell you what the bonus requirements are to complete them until after you've already fulfilled them.
Enemy sighted, number 8.
Hey, there he is. I remember the one at the sea facility being the first one you get for free, but maybe I'm wrong.
Watch out. That guy isn't one of the small fries.
Yeah, I know. He's a Zodiac. Oh, shit. And all the Zodiacs are badasses or whatever. Or at least I remember some of them being pretty tough, but maybe I just sucked. Yeah.
Energy at 30%.
And he's got the moonlight, of course. But I know how to cheese these ACs pretty hard.
Not bad.
I remember being able to kill that guy.
Energy at 30.
Did I fuck that up?
Any idea on that AC? None. Never seen that Mission objective complete. System.
Yeah, I remember being able to kill that guy. I'm gonna try that again. Wait, fuck. Which section was this in? Shit. Well, whatever. It would have a destruction thing if I was supposed to kill him there. Okay.
Hey, you finally showed. Better be ready. I ain't holding back.
Didn't I fight one of your friends earlier?
Main system. Activating combat.
Yeah, it's the whole, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. I'm not actually sure what order you're supposed to say those. And I've never gotten a clear reading on that. Well, that's annoying. Fuck off.
System. Scan.
Okay, that's... And he's got pursuers. My favorite.
System.
At least when I'm using them.
AC damaged. Take evasive action.
Oh, this sucks.
Energy at 30%. System. Scan mode. System. Scan mode.
I need a faster output. Sucks you can't really get generators that have
Combat mode.
both high capacity and high output in this game. It's really one or the other, which sucks. There we go.
Objective complete. System. Returning to normal mode.
He's the one those fools got scrapped by.
Great.
They may have been idiots, but you mess with our people, you pay the price.
You've got a sniper rifle.
Main system. Activating combat mode.
Oh, this is annoying.
System. Scan mode. System. Combat mode.
Why is he hiding?
System. Scan mode.
make this take longer, why don't you?
Energy at 30%. System combat mode. Energy at 30%. System combat mode. Energy at 30%. Mission objective complete. System returning to normal mode.
There he is, comrade. The foolish one who disturbs peace in the world.
He must be eliminated, or this desolate land shall never be saved.
Yay,
In the
cultists!
world.
Their stupid cult will somehow survive into the next game.
Main system activating combat mode.
And you've perished. Alright, where's the other one?
System scan mode. System scan mode.
You dodgy little bugger.
Mission objective complete. System returning to normal mode. Main system activating combat mode. Same objective.
Alright, let's
Destroy
go.
all enemies. There's a large
Blah.
combat helicopter there. This might be trickier than usual. Be careful.
Oh, is it actually gonna move? Cool. Okay, that thing takes like no fucking damage from this at all. I hate these fucking things. Yeah, fuck you. Those things are weak to chemical energy, right? I actually can't remember that well. Blow up. Why is it not blowing up? You know, a helicopter that size should have a rather limited amount of ammunition and other shit. I mean, it's actually a fairly large helicopter, but helicopters in general don't carry a lot of munitions because they're fucking helicopters. Whatever, at least it's marginally more interesting to fight than the vast majority of enemies in this game. I do kind of wish there were more missions in the game that weren't just like total extermination missions. Every single mission in this game is just kill all the enemies inside of it. There's never anything that's like, you have a secondary objective or whatever that you can accomplish. You know, and if you do that, you don't need to worry about all the enemies. 'Cause in the previous games, most of the time you didn't have to worry about the vast majority of enemies in the mission. It was about accomplishing some goal within the area that you were in. But here, it's just kill everything. And that's fine, I guess, but it gets old pretty quickly. Although, that being said, this mission may end once I kill that helicopter. Since this is essentially a mini-boss, it'd be easier if I could fucking hit it with my sword or something. I mean, it doesn't actually do all that much damage. It's just... eh. I don't think you actually fight any of these in the other game. I think they've been, for the most part, phased out as an enemy type in favor of the Foundation mini-bosses that you fight. Or I guess they're not really mini-bosses, they're full actual bosses. Though they get relegated to mini-boss position after you beat them, which sucks. I guess the only actual bosses you would say are the, maybe the area bosses for the multiplayer, but you're not even going to be able to fight those in a few years. Hell, if you can even fight them now, I haven't loaded up Verdict Day in a while. The servers might not even still be active. I should probably check. I mean, I've run into like 4 people playing that game, I think, in the last 5 years or so. Should have joined up with that one dude when he asked me. Totally dropped the ball on that. That's my bad. What? Fuck off. No one likes you. And the only reason I'm doing this right now is because I haven't recorded one of these episodes in like 2 weeks, and I'm completely out of backup recordings for Armored Core. I think the only backup recordings I really have is I have like one more thing of Borderlands, and I have 200 hours worth of Elden Ring. So, yeah. Me not uploading Elden Ring on a daily basis is just because I fucking don't have time to render it. That's part of why I've been doing shorter episodes for the past few uploads. Because, hour-long episodes take like 5 hours to render, and never mind the fact that I have to sit through them to edit and make sure I didn't fucking spend, you know, 10-20 minutes staring at a wall or fucking doing something else or pause the game or whatever. Given the fact that I literally can only edit these at like 5 in the morning, cutting down on the amount that I actually have to edit helps significantly, even if it means the overall fucking series is going to be longer.
That's it. Good job.
Great.
Mission objective complete. System returning to normal mode.
See, that was a technically novel mission, but it wasn't very interesting. This game feels like a run-on sentence.
Greetings.
Great. It's a weird AC design. Why does he have so many pistols? Well, one of those is a target gun, right?
Activating combat mode.
I don't understand why Armored Core guns have optics at all. I guess those are supposed to be cameras and sensors rather than specifically, like... Oh, shit. he has relatively decent thermal defense. Well, that kind of sucks.
System. Scan mode.
Lame.
Energy. 30%. Energy depleted. Mission objective complete.
Great.
System returning to normal mode.
Yeah, that could have gone better. I was gonna try and sword swing sooner, but I ran out of energy. I feel like my thing depletes way more energy than it used to. Is that just me? My laser gun?
Main system activating combat mode. There's a
Whatever.
lot of them. We're knee deep in their territory. You better watch yourself. Take them
Okay,
out.
whatever.
Same as always. Let's go.
You know, a blitz cannon doesn't really make any sense, because the whole point of a blitz is that it's supposed to be fast and hard. So a stationary object doesn't really make sense unless, I guess, you're fucking positioning it outside the city to bombard it. And it's on, like, I guess like a railway cannon would work. What happened to the Schwerver Gustav anyway? We should make railway cannons again. I know they're impractical, but they're cool. I like them. I feel like we might actually have a better society if we fucking cut down on modern weaponry and just go back to using old stuff. Because then the capacity to kill will be lessened, and you have to try a lot harder. So even though we have all these fancy effective tools of warfare, we should go back to using fucking bolt-action rifles and swords. I know no one in the world would ever agree to that in a million years unless it was absolutely necessary or we somehow ran out of bullets and fucking modern equipment. You'd have to destroy like 99% of the fucking manufacturing base in almost every major country to get something like that to happen, where everyone just goes back to using military surplus. Damn it. I thought I killed you. Actually, I'm not sure I even saw you to begin with. I thought the other guy was shooting those. To be fair, I'm colorblind, so you guys could make it a little easier on me. Also, this game has some pretty strong visual problems in terms of threat identification. I wonder if he's designed to head to that spot specifically if you rush him, or if that's just a coincidence. Well, could be either. That feels kind of specific, though. I mean, it's a good vantage point if it weren't for the fact that I can easily outrun him. I mean, that's a good point. I can't see a single one of these things being effective, except for maybe the snipers if they were far enough away. But their range isn't actually that far. And they're way too bulky. They're effectively just mobile howitzers. Are all of them? Alright.
Well done. On my way.
These areas are really small. I'd feel better if they were multi-connected, like I could go from the seaside area to here to wherever. Not open world. I don't think that games need to be... I'm probably the only person I know that fucking has this opinion, but I actually kind of hate the fact that most games are progressing towards an open world sort of format. Because I feel like the level-based areas get a lot more attention and are usually better directed than open world areas. Because a lot of open world areas have to get rid of direction in their levels in order to focus on being open world because they have to be interconnected or give the player freedom of movement. I mean, if it was a bunch of levels, like... Say if each level of Demon Souls was as it was, but rather than teleporting between the levels, you could just walk to them. I think that would be fine. That's basically what Dark Souls 1 is. But those are clearly still levels. They're not, like, it's not just flat open world that I can and these areas are buildings that are plopped on top of it. That's actually one of my biggest problems with fucking Elden Ring, is that it is essentially just a flat plane with a bunch of buildings with relative levels of intricacy just settled down on top of it. And I know that's what the real world is, but that's not why I play those games.
Oh, Regan. Still alive, huh?
Like, Dark Souls 1 was an extraordinarily complicated fucking series of vertical levels that branched out from each other. Even Dark Souls 2 is a lot more complex than that, though its design is more maze-like than fucking level-based.
I've come to kill you, of course.
Yeah, I should be paying attention to the story, but But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the progression of video games towards open world formats. I think Sekiro is probably as good as From Software is ever going to do with that, and I don't even particularly like Sekiro. And Sekiro still is a lot closer to fucking Bloodborne and Dark Souls than it is
Stay back and fire from a distance.
fucking an actual open world. I mean, there aren't... Like, what you would consider to be an open world, I guess, is open for interpretation, but I usually think of things like the Elder Scrolls series, fucking, Breath of the Wild. I know that's fucking Skyrim and Breath of the Wild are the two overplayed ones, but I guess, like, GTA is technically open world, even though it's not quite as big of an open world. Okay. Well, okay, what's the difference between an open world game and a sandbox game, right? Because it can't be level loads, because fucking the Elder Scrolls games have dungeons and stuff, and those always have level transitions, and anytime you go into a building. But, like, Red Dead Redemption is an open world game, but also I would consider it a sandbox game. So where do you draw the distinction in that? You have to put it somewhere. I don't know. I guess it's arbitrary because game genres have never been particularly distinctive to begin with. Like, what the hell is an action-adventure versus an action RPG versus a character action versus a whatever? It's like, there's no good answer to that. Because there's not really any good examples of what a definitive thing is, because it's always going to have multiple fucking characteristics from a bunch of different things. I mean, the RPG term in general is so goddamn vague that you can apply it to almost anything at this point. As long as you have some freedom of option in something, you can pretty much just slap that label on. I think open world used to feel more, like, defined, but became less so. Like, I think sandbox was the term that existed first, and then open world evolved from that based on, like, because sandbox games, I felt like, usually had less complexity to them. Like, there was not really anything in the world worth speaking about. Like, those old Spider-Man games, Crackdown, fucking... I guess Saints Row fits into that. Like, Saints Row and GTA, but Saints Row and GTA feel like they have more stuff in the world, but the world itself isn't the focus in those games. And they're mission-based, they're not level-based, they're fucking... Like, it's not like... I don't know, because in Saints Row, you load in and out of missions, but those missions all take place in the same, like, general area. Same is true with GTA, for the most part. With the exception of some unique areas you can load into that exist only for specific missions. It's not like, you know, Skyrim, where you get a quest and you can just go do that quest whenever, and you're not cut off from the rest of the game while you're focusing on it. That happens sometimes in Fallout, but Fallout's still considered an open world game. So, it feels really arbitrary, but I stick by my fucking... Hey! Recognize that? That's the knight set that appears in every single FromSoft game. You might recognize him as the Demon Souls protagonist. You can tell it's the fluted knight set. It's got that crenellation at the front and the that one specific shoulder pad. That looks more like the Dark Souls version, but you can obviously tell it's the Fluted Knight set. The Fluted Knight set is one of the few like sets of armor that I actually really want in real life.
Strong enough. Not in the mood for surprises, though. He better kick the bucket fast.
There's a guy on Etsy who makes parts of it that you can get in metal, but he doesn't make the whole thing. He only makes the head, shoulders, and the knee guards, I think. He doesn't make all of it. Because he technically makes the Elite Knight set version that you're supposed to wear it with a tabard and some other stuff. And that's fine, but I would have really liked to have had the whole thing. Not that I'm gonna fucking buy that. That would be probably... maybe not a waste of money, but an irresponsible use of money for at least in my current position. Maybe in the future if I have more of a disposable income. The same guy also makes a fucking full-size version of the goddamn, I don't know if it's the Artorias Greatsword or the version of the ones that the Abyss Watchers use in Dark Souls 3. I'd be fine with either, but... yeah, he's some dude in Hong Kong who just does that all day. Apparently he's really good at his job. I haven't seen any negative reviews from anyone yet. Other than the fact that shipping apparently takes like an entire year, because again, he's in Hong Kong. Apparently Hong Kong's shipping system sucks. I don't have any personal experience with that, aside from like a handful of miscellaneous things I've bought, but they all shipped it via like a third-party system or whatever. So, eh. And they're all small items, too. Damn. This guy weak to chemical. We tried thermal, it didn't seem like it did much. Oh, fuck you. Hiding behind the fucking... are those BTRs down there? Those look like Russian BTRs. Shit, fuck off. Controls. Yeah, the way that this game handles fucking kickoff jumps really sucks.
System energy at 30%. System scan mode.
Because the angle at which it does it and whether or not it will kick you off with a fuck ton of force is super inconsistent. It's a pain in the ass. I wonder if I should just go down and fucking... would that be better? Where'd she go? Well, fuck me.
Main system activating combat mode. Purging. Unknown unit has connected. I'm in jeopardy. Recommending immediate termination of...
Yeah, I think I've given up on playing fair for the given moment.
Hey, once we're done with this, we should go have some fun.
Sounds good.
Really? Then I'll kill him real quick.
Why are most of the people in this game rednecks? Mosin Nagant. Hey, I have a Mosin Nagant. You sully the name with your stupidity. Mosin makes good rifles. I don't know why people call the Mosin the garbage stick. I guess it's because of those cheap ones that were mass-produced during World War II. But mine is like pre-fucking 1900, I think. It's one of the good hex bolt ones, I know that much. Oh, fuck off. Oh, this sucks.
Energy at 30%. System combat mode. Energy at 30%. Energy depleted. System scan mode.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm not a huge fan of the way the tanks work in this one.
System scan mode. AC damaged. Take evasive action. System scan mode. Left arm ammo at 30%. Shoulder ammo at 30%. Left arm ammo depleted. Purging.
Eh.
AC severely damaged. Take evasive action. System scan mode. Shoulder ammo depleted. AC damage catastrophic. Take evasive action.
Oh, this ain't working too well.